About 89. Had some support at the 89 area. All right. Pivot was 95. So I've got an order sitting there at 89. Keep in mind, this is a sim account. This is to show you trading one lots, how the domes work for people that's never seen them. We're coming back up to our pivot. We're coming up to that 4,600 area again. And we should be going for that 4,606 area, 4,607. I am not running a stop in this. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to show you what trying to be right will cost you. And you'll see it on this dome. Of course, it's not real money, so it's not really costing anything, but it the dome's not moving. There we go. I see two big positions that this thing is setting up for, and I don't know which one it's going to do. And let's go. We have news out at 9. We have to be aware of it. 15 more minutes. So, all right. All right. All right. Our pivots at 95. 6. This may be a bad mistake. This is Friday. Above 4,600, the next level up is going to be 4,606 or 7. And we should get to it. This is a prime example of why you should take your stops and gotten out of this position. One is your drawdowns are already way on up there. And we already know where it can go. No, Eric, it's no problem. I'll be glad to post the levels again for you. There you go. Look in the chat, you'll see the levels we use. I've got a simulation dome up here. I'm not doing a very good job at showing you what we do. Sorry about that. Let's our first level up there is going to be at the 07 area. We're trading at 04. What we would normally do, you're either going to have to fade it and get a little bit before it, do the number exactly above it, or the one above that. We're going to show a 2-lot, how we would enter our orders, and that's what we would look to sell to it there. So your stop area would be two points above that, which would be 8, and your average is going to be about 75. So you stop, I'd stick it at 8. Matter of fact, I would probably go 850, because if you had a 3-lot on, you'd put one above it too. Well, you did good then. We only got up to the 4 area. I've canceled my orders up there at the 6. I mean, the 7. Nah, it's just, I'm watching. I'm trying to, you know, I believe it's going to do what I think it's going to do. In 5 minutes, we got some numbers out, and this is wherein lies the problem. Now, in this situation, I'm already in a trade. Is this trade going to get worse, or is this trade going to get better? I'm down about 4 points per on a 4 lot each. So the question now is what do you do? So, you're down 4 points and you could have got out of this trade at a 2 point loss. And so that's what's meant by controlling your emotions and just getting out, because it really costs you to stay. It just, but, I see something that should work out, and I'm willing to. And I'm saying two things. One is it should work out, and the other one is I really, I wish I'd have waited and got in at a better position. Even at the '04 would have been a great area. Uh, but right now, this market's going up. But I believe we'll come back down to that 5.25 area. It should. Uh, I'd like for it to get to 6 or 7. Uh, I'd take a bad situation and probably make it worse. But well, yeah, that's the problem. But today is Friday. Today is the day that we're not going to be able to run this thing overnight. We're going to have to work our way out of this hole. And right now, that's basically my theory is, okay, where am I going to get out? Where do I think it's going to go? Well, I'm going to get out 3/4 of my position here at about 95.25 area. We're coming, if you notice, we're coming back into the blue band area. So that would probably be a nice area to cover in. If I need to get out, I can get out. There's just 98 area. We're going to bounce off of this 1 minute blue band. We got news out in about 2 minutes. Don't know what it's going to do to it. But, it's funny. The most of the week, the market, the news was negative, below expectations, and the market goes up. Then the Fed news comes out, or the news yesterday was positive, and the market goes down. Go figure. I need to break this 98. Only got to what, 98.50 area. Yeah. You know, based on what I'm seeing, I'm willing to hold this position. You know, even through the drawdowns. But that's me. You know, at the end of the day, if I'm down a couple of grand, it's on me, nobody else. News is out, popped up a little bit. Let's see what the news says. Personal spending was up a little bit. Every, every, uh, let's see. This was down. That's one that just released. So bad news, market goes up. That's that six was an important number yesterday. That six, it yields us. You got to be able to get four out of it easy. Here's your four. Here's your three. So if you took the six, you're getting paid off. We're going to have to get below 4,600 again now if we're going to see that lower low. look at our chart here real quick. This is a prime example of coming in with a bias. You tend to trade that bias and it's wrong. So I'm showing you everything you should not do as a trader. This is a sim account. I don't care, but you should not treat it like that. You should treat it as if it was real money and if it was your money, and stop yourselves out. Let's see what we can do here. And you're sitting in this thing going, what have I done? Now, in all honesty, I, I believe in my position, or I'd have done bailed this trade. I want this trade. You know, even though I believe in the position on what it should do, the levels gave me a really nice entry way up here to get back down into this to the pivot area. If push comes to shove, at a minimum, we'll be able to get out at scratch. Uh, my break even is at 99.75. Really, it's at 98. But I added one up there at the 4600 area. So the 9 o'clock says we're gonna have to get below this 96.75 to take it down. Our pivot's at 95. And as if you are a combine trader, uh, you don't want to do that. You could have got in and waited for the level, got in at the 6, taken 2 points or not more, 3 points out of the trade, and instead of setting to a drawdown. Now, I'm watching the price action going, okay, what is this critter doing? I still believe that we're going to get down to this 98 range. I know that the '04 area is a big area. Uh, but, you could have had multiple zones. There's just so many things you could have done instead of looking at a big position trade. And there's not many dollars in it. It's just that so these are the things you do not want to do. Basically the trades are in. There's nothing you can do at this point but manage your losses or manage your profits. That's it. But from 6 to the 2 area or the 6 to the 3 area, that's fairly decent profit. And you'd have done it within just a few minutes. Then you wouldn't be sitting through any drawdowns. So then this is another reason that we use the levels, because the levels give us areas of probability to make some money. And if you really have an idea or a position, uh, I had a reason to take that area down there. It just wasn't the best reason in the world, and it didn't work out. But instead of taking a $200 loss, look at the drawdown I'm sitting in, and that's ridiculous. And it may not get down there today. This thing has the capabilities to climb for hours, if not days. That '06 was an area that we had yesterday. I was looking to see what we might have above this thing here. If we get above this '06, we could see the 11 area. I used 7 today. I could have used 6. We only got to 6 1/4. The seven now is mute. We've already been semi-tested it. The probabilities of it working out again are a lot less than what they were. You know, I'm looking at the six. I think sometime today there's going to be a 10-point run from that six down. I am short one from the six. I'm short one from the four. This is simulator mode. Uh, the no, actually, what if I'm trading? I have a dome. I have an account. All I have to do is go in down here at the bottom where it says account and pull up my account, and it it throws my account up there. This is just to show you how a dome works. This is not take these trades right here. They're going to work. You know, this is look. Uh, and a lot of this is how much money do you have? How much in your account that you can trade 5 lots? You may can only trade ones and twos. Rule of thumb used to be you needed at least 10 grand for every contract that you traded. I know that you can go to day trading firms now, and all you've got to have is $1,500 margin, and you can just trade up a storm. Uh, when I was coming up, it was like the rule is you need at least 10 grand for every contract you trade. So you need at least $50,000 in your account to be trading a 5 lot. Now I know that depends on the broker that you're using, what they require, what they're not going to require. But as it stands right now, this thing's not backing off. It's just climbing. And we're coming up to that 7 area. This is, I would probably fade this a little bit due to the fact is there's a 200 lot sitting there and I want to get it. Now there's a 250 lot sitting there. So I'm going, well, so much for that. That's mute. The 7 has already been hit, or we got the 650, and that's close enough. Now, if we were to jump up and hit 7 in this bar that we're on right now, and you could say, okay, but there's a lot of 200 lots down in this 4 range too. We ought to get back to that 375 4 area. So if you've sold the 6s, you should be able to get paid off. They would have to go to 4. Oh, see this in the dome right here. These are the numbers of active orders sitting there. And a while ago, there was up here at the 7 where it's only got 192. There was 200 and something there. Then it dropped down, and there was 200 and something here. Then there was a bunch of 200s in here. Somebody either canceled it or they moved it. In this dome, this is where the price is actually. This is the bid side. This is the ask side. This is for 10. This is the total number of trades added up for these 10, and this is a total number of trades added up for these 10. And as this thing moves up and down, that number changes. But in a dome, this is what you're looking at. So if you shorted the 6, you sold one up here, it would look something like this right here. I sold the 6. And then if you wanted to, you would come down here and you would put, okay, when it got down to here, I want to buy the 4. So I sold the 6, bought the 4. Now, if you think it's going to go up and you want it to be long, say at 8, you can come in here and put a stop order, buy on a not a stop order, but buy on a bid side. And it would look something like this. So when the market got up, you buy one there as it's going up. And if you think it's going to go down, and let me get down here in case. And you did that right there, when it got down to here, you would sell one and then it would go down. You don't have to buy exactly at the same price. This is just a dome. You can do strategies in here. I don't know if I've got any strategies in here or not. Do I have any customs? No, I don't have any. Parameters, ticks, quantity 1. You can set your target to, I want a 2-point target 1, and you can have a 2-point stop. And when it gets triggered, it automatically puts in your stop and your target. Or you can put, this is a 3 lot. The first one you wanted to do this, you wanted to do that, and so forth. But I normally don't set mine that way. I'm pretty confident in numbers. I don't care if we run up, but our number was 7. If you just really wanted to take the 7, you could. You don't ever know if these things are going to work or not. We got up to 650. We finally got up to 7. The 7 would have gave you another 2 points. There's your 5. So the 625, the 6 area, the 7 area, they all worked. And this was a reason that they all worked. So at a minimum, I'm going from there down to 98 to 95. So I'm just waiting, and it may take off and run up some more. Don't know. But the thing about it is you got in real close to the very high if it does. But if you notice what's happening with these bars, these down bars are not very big, and these up bars have a lot of momentum to them. And when we're pulling back like these set of bars here, it's just they never got below. This was all inside this area right here. If anybody has any questions about the dome, feel free to ask. This is why you don't do what I did, is the drawdown side of it. Why sit through a drawdown? Say I can only trade a maximum of 5 lots. I can't trade any more than that. I'm stuck in this trade. I either have to take a loss and lose $1,500-$1,600, or I have to sit here and hope and pray that this thing's going to turn and come back down. Don't know that. But this I do know: the 7 area gave you several opportunities. Now, our rule is we only take it once. So I took the 6, I faded it, got the 2 points. You could take the 7, you could take the 8. just depending on your risk tolerance. You know, the six that I have, I really don't want to get rid of it because it's going to be worth some money, I feel, shortly, but that's me. But today is Friday. After that big down day, we're up above the day's open. We're sitting in this 4,600 area. They want to close out this week good. So this thing can just keep climbing and climbing and climbing. It does not have to come back down at all. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. We're twiddling our thumbs. Now, the only difference between the simulator account and your real account is you just go down here and you just put your account number in there, and then it changes over to real money. Because everything I do in this account on my real account goes straight to my clearinghouse. So say I want to sell one right here. I can jump in and sell one at the market. I can sell one here at the press that button right there, and it'll sell one at the market. Now, sometimes you may get filled here or here, just depends on how much moving around it's doing. But odds are, if you're going to sell one, it's going to be right there. It's going to be bam. We're starting to drop. We have to get past. Really and truly, I'd feel a whole lot better if we get below 4,600. And so then we start looking, what headway are we coming into? We know that we had the 7 up here. We know that we have the 46, not 4,600. Yeah, 46 even right here as a little headway. We know that we've got a 95 pivot down in here. So if you're short and you're looking for areas to get out, we're coming into this blue band, which is at 98, which is not a bad spot to bail this thing. I am looking at more of a position trade. I know that we took a a 6 trade up there, and I took a 4 trade up there. So I can take that 6 and 4 and get down into this 98 and start bailing some of my position. Uh, you know, you're really worried about it, 98.75, you ought to be able to get a fill there. We're coming down into our blue band, which is sitting at about 98.50. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you have no emotions because you don't have your money tied up into this. If you brought the blue band, you got paid off. Yeah, it's just there is no emotions tied up in this whatsoever. But even if this was my live account, it'd be the same for me. I understand my risk tolerance. I understand this, and I understand what I see and what I believe, and I have faith. I believe it's a belief system more than I guess any trading system is. Do you really believe in this? Is this thing going to work? Are we going to? I don't know. You just put on the trade, and the thing about it is, you really need to find an area, take the trade, put on the trade, put the stop in, and let the rest take care of itself. And if you get profitable, don't lose money on that trade. It's better to break even on the trade or take a point on the trade. So I didn't get two. I got one. I didn't suffer any heat, didn't have to stand through any drawdowns like this one here. This is a prime example of what not to do. What's the settings for the blue band? The blue band is actually the center of the Bollinger Band. If you look at this right here, yeah, these little dots up here. This is actually Bollinger Bands. I just colored them white because I don't use the red bands for anything, and I don't need another line on my chart that I'm not using. If I have something on my chart and I'm using it, great. If I'm not using it, okay. So I don't think we're finished going down yet, but that's just me. That's the noise of a fella that's on the wrong side of this thing. We haven't broken any swings yet. Uh, just a second, I can tell you exactly what the settings are. Standard deviation 2, and it's a 20 period. And it's on bar close. There's nothing special about it. It Saul's charts. I don't have them up, but I can show them to you real quick. If if you look at his charts, he has a 200 period and a Bollinger Band, and this is an hourly chart that we're waiting on data to come in for this right here. But that's all it is. It's nothing special. The movement, it's a simple moving average. There's nothing. Let's see. Do I have this? Yeah, that's just a regular SMA. I'll go back and check mine, but well, let's tell you what I'll do is I'll pull this down. Uh, Well, when you do the standard deviation in the period, that throws in the blue band automatically. It's not a moving average, even though I do have a simple moving average on this thing. What is this? Yeah, I'm not using any exponential or anything of that nature. They're all simple moving averages. I like that six. If you sold that six again, you're getting paid off again. Instead of sitting there, I could have traded around that 6 and 7 a bunch. But basically, we've had two level trades and a blue band trade this morning. Now, I'm just showing you what not to do. We've got a level here at 4,600, an intermediate level. We're going to have to get through that. We've also sitting there with a blue band at it. Guys, I'll be right back.